Hello students, welcome back to my channel. So let us continue learning the chapter 7, which is classes and object. In the previous session, we had learned about what is class, what is object, how they are related, how do we declare an object, what is the structure of the class, etc. So we had seen that how our data members are accessed using the member functions, and also we had seen the different types of scope. Those are private, public, and protected. Right. So today we are going to continue this chapter and we are going to learn all about member functions today. So what are the member functions? Member functions are nothing but the functions which are member of a particular given class. Now there are two types of member functions. Depending on their definition, how we are defining them. Based on that, we can divide them into two categories. First one is inside the class definition and second one is outside the class definition. Okay. So what is the inside class definition? So inside the class definition is nothing but in a class, the function declaration within the class is replaced by an actual function definition inside the class, which means, for example, suppose I have a class student, and normally how do we declare a function? Suppose I have a function called as sum. I will write sum, and if int is the return type of this particular function, then after this, I will put a semicolon and I will go on writing some other statements over here and I'll close the class, right? So this is just the declaration of the function. But in case if I'm writing it something like this, class student, and then int sum, and instead of ending it here with a semicolon, I'm going to go ahead and write a plus b or return a plus b. Okay, so when I do that, here I'm returning a value which is of type int, and the entire code of the function also I have mentioned it within the class. Okay, so that is what it means. When a declaration of a function is replaced by the actual function definition. So function definition is nothing but the entire set of code which is of that particular function. When we write it inside the class, such function is called as, which is inside the class definition. So this is the definition of the class, and we are defining that particular function inside the class definition. That is why this member function is called as inside class definition. I hope this is clear. Usually, when we are doing this inside the class definition, we won't take big functions like functions with a lot of codes. Usually, we don't declare them inside the class definition. Only very small functions with the 2 or 3 lines of codes, only such functions we will declare them inside the class definition, right? So let us go ahead and see one example regarding the same. So see this example. Here I have a class rectangle. So the name of the class is rectangle, and I'm declaring it as int length and int breadth. Notice one thing here, I have not mentioned any scope of what type of a member they are. Okay, so by default it is going to be private. Like we discussed in the last session, this is going to be under the scope private, right? So these are the data members. Now when it comes to the member functions, this is one member function I have, this is another member function I have. But see here, the code or the definition of the function is mentioned within the declaration. So I'm declaring saying I have this particular function in this class, and also I am defining it as well inside this particular class itself. So both the functions I have declared and defined at the same place. So these two functions are declared inside the class definition. Okay, this type of a question comes for 3 to 5 marks, asking what is the member function being defined inside the class or being defined outside the class. Give an example and give the explanation, such things. So that time what you can do is write the explanation saying what exactly is defining the function inside the class definition, and then you can write a program, example program like this, and give an example. Okay, so note here, our class is ending here. Whenever we have a flower bracket with a semicolon, it means that this is our class definition is ending here. But my class, the function definition is within this end, right? So this is about inside the class definition. Now let's see what is outside the class definition. A function declared as a member of a class is known as a member function, which is very obvious. Member functions declared within the class must be defined separately outside the class. So usually this is the method we follow. We declare them inside the class, but then we define them outside. A member function will have an identity label in the header. Okay, so what is this identity label? This label tells the compiler which class the function belongs to. So whenever we declare the function outside the class, these are the rules we need to follow, right? The scope of the member function is limited to the class mentioned in the header. That means that function can only be accessed by that particular class whose name has been mentioned in the header of that particular function. So when we see an example, it's going to be clear. And this is very important. The scope resolution operator is used to define the member function. So this is the operator, this 4 dots is called as a scope resolution operator. This operator we are going to use in order to tell that which function, which class that particular function belongs to. So let us go ahead and see one example. It is going to be clear. So see the syntax here. Syntax for member function outside the class. So if you have already declared, for example, let me take the same example. Class student, this is my class. So I am declaring a class here. I have some data items int I, and I have a member function saying public. And suppose I'm calculating the fees or something, then I'm having int sum, like the previous example. Okay, but here what I'm doing, I am only declaring the function here, but the definition of this particular function, I'm going to write it over here. So what is the things which we need to take care before declaring them or defining them outside the classes? We have to write the return type. Return type is what? In this case, it is int. We get it from here. Then we have the class name. What is the name of the class? Class name is nothing but student. Okay, and then we have to use our scope resolution operator and my member function. Now my member function name is sum. In this case, I am not using any parameters, but if at all you are using the parameters, you are going to write it down over here. Okay, and then after that, I'm going to write all the codes required. So this entire thing is going to happen after this particular, that is once the class definition ends, my function definition starts. So what I'm doing here, I'm just declaring saying I'm going to have a function like this, and here I'm defining the code of that function. But main thing we need to remember is how we are going to link that particular function with the class. So we are using the class name, then the scope resolution operator, and this exactly is the syntax which we need to follow. So the syntax here is return type of that particular function, then the class name to which it belongs, then the scope resolution operator and the member function and their arguments if there are any. And later on, like a normal function, we are going to mention the code of that particular function. I hope this is clear. So this is what you're going to write in case in the question examination, they'll ask you the question saying what is declaring a function outside the class. So you're going to say that it is just a member function. The declaration happens in the definition of the class and it is defined outside the class. And what is the syntax for that? This is the syntax you need to write, and you have to mention the importance of the scope resolution operator. Scope resolution operator is the one which tells us this particular function to which class it belongs, right? Now, let us see what are the characteristic of the member functions, right? The type and the number of arguments in the member function must be same as the types and number of the data declared in the class definition. Okay, so inside the class, if you are saying sum without any parameter, then when you're defining that function also, you should have the same name. You cannot add parameter here, then the compiler will not recognize it. The symbol, this one, that is a scope resolution operator, is known as scope resolution operator. Usage of this along with the class name is the header of the function definition. Okay, so these are all the characteristics of the defining the class outside the class definition, right? Now the scope resolution operator identifies the function as a member of a particular class. Okay. Now, several classes can use the same function name. Membership label will resolve their scope. What they mean is, Now let me give an example for this. Suppose I have class A and it has a member function sum. Okay, let me give the same example. And I have another class B, and this one also I have a member function saying sum. Okay, now both these classes I have in one program. Imagine then what happens when I'm declaring it. Suppose both the functions are having void as a return type. So first one I will write it as void, then class name is A, scope resolution operator sum. Okay, and then the required code for that. Next one, how will I call? I will say void B, scope resolution operator sum of, then the code. Do you think that there will be any problem when I write like this? There will not be any problem, because the compiler will see the scope resolution operator and it will compare, and it will understand that when it is reading this one, we are referring to this particular function because we have class A. So it will go to class A and it will call that particular function. When it is reading this, when it is executing this, it will find out that there is a scope resolution operator, and it will find the relation between them, and it will go to the class B and call this particular function. There won't be any error here. Okay, so that is the beauty of this function. Even if we have same function names at different classes, with the scope resolution operator, we are going to resolve this problem, right? So the member function can access private data of the class, a non-member function cannot. Okay, this we have seen in the last session also about how we can access private and other data members, right? So next, let us see one example program where we are going to see both inside and outside class definition. So in case in the examination they will ask explain both inside and outside class definition, then you can write one program. With that you can give the example for both inside and outside definition. So let us see the program. This is my header file. So my class name is item here, and I have these two data members. Then I am having in the public, I am declaring two functions here. So have a look at these functions very carefully. I have void get data and then some parameters and semicolon. This means I am just declaring it here. I don't have the definition here, right? When it comes to this particular function, that is void put data, what is going to happen? I am writing the code also inside my class definition, which makes this as inside the class definition function. Okay, so this is declared and defined inside the class definition, whereas this is only been declared inside. Let us see, my class is ending here. So after that, get data and get data. So this particular function has been defined where it is defined outside, right? We are declaring it inside the class definition, but we are defining it outside. So this becomes outside class definition. This one becomes inside the class definition. So my function is ending here. After that, in the main program, like a regular thing. Okay, one more thing. See the difference here, how the header of the functions are. Here only we have to write the return type and the function name, wherein which when we are declaring it, defining it outside the class, we have to write the return type, name of the class, scope resolution operator, and then the other details. What are the two things extra? The class name and the scope resolution is extra here. Okay, so this we need to remember always. So after that, in the main function, I'm creating an object X here. How am I creating? This is the name of the class, and I'm creating a variable of type class. So this variable is nothing but an object of this particular class, and using that object, I am able to access the member function. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm saying X dot get data. So that time the control comes over here and we are passing the parameter here, and also I'm saying X dot put data. So it will not make any difference in the execution. Only thing is that we have the definitions, one is inside, one is outside. So this works like a regular function call, right? I hope this particular code is clear. Only difference you should see is whenever you are asked to give an example for inside and outside both, instead of writing two programs for two functions, you can write something like this. Take two functions, Code of one, you can write it inside the class definition. Code of one, you can write it outside the class definition. Don't forget about the header. After that, you are good to go, right? I hope these two types of member functions are clear to you. So that's all in today's session, students. Thank you for watching. Take care.